Good morning students, welcome back to botany session. And in these videos we are going to discuss the another one topic of plant breeding, mutation breeding and polyploid breeding. And previous classes we already discussed what are the various plant breeding techniques that are involved for the improvement of crop breeding, such as selections, the types of selection, mass selection, pure line selection, clonal selection. Then hybridizations, what is called hybridizations, what are the types that are involved in hybridization, what are the techniques that are involved in hybridization, heterosis, types of heterosis. So far everything we already discussed it. In these videos we are going to see the mutation breeding and polyploid breeding. Then what is called mutation breeding? Mutation, the term mutation was first coined by Hugo de Vries in the year 1901. Based on his observation on Eunothera lamarckiana, evening primrose, he observed the first a sudden irritable change observed in the Eunothera lamarckiana. So he is called as a father of mutation, Hugo de Vries. But mutation breeding, the word mutation breeding was first coined by Muller and Stedler. In the year 1927 to 1928, Muller induced mutation in Drosophila melanogaster, fruit fly, by using a physical mutagenic agent, for example gamma rays. X-rays and gamma rays are used to induce mutation in Drosophila by Muller. Stedler induced mutation in maize varieties. So these two persons to coin the term mutation breeding. Then what is called mutation breeding? Mutation is nothing but a sudden irritable change in the phenotype and genotype of organism. Sudden irritable change. Then what is called sudden irritable change? Sudden genetic setup of an organism, sudden change in the genetic setup of an organism is called mutation. We know that DNA, it is made up of nucleotides. A segment of DNA is called gene. Gene is made up of nucleotides. What is called nucleotide? Nucleotide is made up of nitrogenous bases plus sugar. There are we know that already we know that four types of nitrogenous bases. For example, adenine already paired with thymine, guanine paired with cytosine. There are two hydrogen bonds are present in between the adenine and thymines. There are three hydrogen bonds are present between the guanine and cytosine. In addition to that, sugar attached with the two phosphate groups. It is a nucleotides. Sugar, then phosphate. Sugar, phosphate. So, gene, a segment of DNA is called gene. It is made up of nucleotides. A sudden change in the nucleotide sequence, these are called mutation. How to be changed? For example, adenine is replaced by another adenine. Thymine is replaced by another thymine. Or maybe guanine is replaced by adenine. Cytosine is replaced by thymine. See, it is ruled out. It was first proposed by Erwin Chargaff in the year 1949. It's a rule. Adenine always pair with thymine, guanine always pair with cytosine. But it is replaced by another adenine or another guanine, that is as a result of mutations. So due to this replacement or addition, deletion, substitution, as a result biological variations takes place. So in Muller and Stedler to induce mutation, useful mutation to the crop plots. How to induce? By using certain physical and chemical mutagenic agents that is used to induce the mutations. Already, as we know that a lot of advantages also there due to induced mutations. Without altering any genotype of an organism, without altering any phenotype of organism, and without altering any characteristic features of improvement of crop plants, without losing the agronomic characters. You know what is called agronomic characters? Soil characters. and everything we can be changed to induce certain useful mutations are induced by Muller and Studlius. So the mutation, it is one of the important tools, play an important role for evolutions, especially for gene mutations. The gene mutation, they play an important role in the evolution as well as recombination as well as selection methods. It is the only methods for produce seedless fruits. Seedless fruits. You know what is called seedless fruit? How to produce a seedless fruits? Nothing but parthenocarpic fruits. How to induce a parthenocarpic fruit by the applications of this mutation technique? Because due to addition of certain chemical mutagenic agent, there is a failure of or error of mitotic error. If the application of certain chemical substance, they prevent the segregation of chromosome. I mean, there is a failure of anaphase. If the anaphase gets arrested, the chromosome will not get segregated. As a result, chromosome number become double. That is, as a result of doubling of chromosome number, the induced seedless fruits is nothing but parthenocarpic fruits are produced through mutation breeding techniques. Then how to induce mutation? There are two methods. One is physical mutagen and chemical mutagen, commonly called mutagenic agent. The mutation, useful mutation which is induced in a crop plant by the substance is called mutagen or mutagenic agent. The substance which causes mutation is called mutagenic agent. There are two types of mutagenic agent. One is a physical mutagen, another one is a chemical mutagen. What is a physical mutagen? Electromagnetic radiation. It is a powerful sources which is used to induce the mutation. Powerful sources, for example, radioactive sources. For example, UV rays, UV waves, ultraviolet waves, and alpha, beta rays, gamma rays. So these are the electromagnetic radiation which is used to induce the mutation. Plus in addition to that, X-rays also. X-rays, these are the physical mutagenic agent. Then chemical mutagenic agent. For example, ethyl methane sulfonate, methyl methane sulfonate, nitrous acid, mustard gas, then nitromethyl urea. So, and in addition, cesium chloride. So these are the chemical mutagenic agents that is used to induce or desirable mutation to the crop plants. Physical and chemical mutagenic agents. For example of a mutant variety. What is called mutant? The organism that undergoes mutation is called mutant variety. For example, triple gene dwarf wheat. Dwarf wheat varieties. Another one, Automata 2 rice. These are the product of induced or point mutation or gene mutations. Triple gene dwarf, actually it is a dwarf variety. They could not get the considerable height, and this wheat variety, after the treating of this chemical physical mutagenic agent, especially for gamma rays, they are attaining the normal height and also increase the yielding also. Triple gene dwarf wheat varieties. It is a mutant variety. In Automata 2 rice, it is increase in the tolerance against of salinity. It is a saline tolerant rice. I mean, where the place for the scarcity of fresh waters, we can easily cultivate it by using seawater. these varieties Atamata to rice because they can tolerate the extreme salinity, salt conditions, and it also shows resistance to the pest resistant variety. No one pest can attack because of these are mutant variety. These are the example for mutant or mutation breeding varieties. The next technique, polyploid. Polyploid, the word said their answer. Poly means many. Usually most of the flowering plants are angiosperm. They are diploid in nature, contain only 2 sets of chromosomes. In any plants, they possess more than 2 sets of chromosomes is called polyploid. What is the result of polyploidy? What is the essential of polyploid? How they are playing an important role in the agriculture technology? Increase the yielding, increase the vigor, increase the potentiality. They can tolerate increase the potentiality to the both biotic and abiotic factors. Certain plants variety that is unfavorable for the biotic factors. For example, pathogenics. A lot of pathogens which cause disease in the crop plant. As a result, there's reduced the yielding also. Considerable amount of yielding also gets reduced year by year. So, due to polyploid double the number of chromosomes, they increase the tolerance of both biotic and abiotic condition. Abiotic, for example, light temperatures, humidity, waters, that is also sometimes unfavorable for the crop plants. So they can increase. And vigor, hybrid vigor, the word vigor that refers to what? Potentiality, increase the yielding, growth rate, resistant to the drought resistance and insect resistant, pest resistance, everything gets increased. So polyploidy, it is an important tools, improvement of crop plants, especially wild varieties as well as for cultivated crops. In addition to this polyploidy to reduce the fertility of the plants. How they reduce the fertility of the plants? Due to meiotic error. I already point out, if addition of certain chemical substance actually, they prevent the segregation of chromosome. As a result, chromosome numbers also double. If the chromosome numbers are double, they automatically induce seedless fruits. Seedless fruits are induced. See how to induce polyploidy? There are 2 types of polyploidy. One is autopolyploidy, then allopolyploidy. Auto and allopolyploidy. Auto, when the number of chromosomes are doubled by itself in the same plant is called autopolyploidy. For example, 3N condition, triploid condition in sugar beet, chakkaravalli kelag, sugar beet, apple, pear. These are the example for triploid conditions. They automatically chromosomes are doubled. As a result, increase the fruit size, edible root size, sugar content, protein content, leaf size, everything gets increased because of doubling of chromosomes. For example, seedless tomato, apple, watermelon, then orange. These are the example for autopolyploidy. Once again I would remember, autopolyploidy, the word itself their answer, autopolyploidy, when the number of sets of chromosomes are doubled by itself in the same plant. How they are doubled by itself in the same plant? Due to various environmental factors. For example, genetic factors and various physical factors, light, temperature, the chromosome number automatically doubled by itself in the same plant. These are called autopolyploidy. Autopolyploidy have been reported sugar beet, apple, pear. As a result, they increase root size, edible seed size, fruit size, sugar content, everything gets increased. So these are the example: tomato, seedless tomato, apple, watermelon, and orange have been reported autopolyploidy. Then allopolyploidy. we have to induce polyploidy in the useful crop plant. How to induce polyploidy useful crop plant? By using the chemical substance called colchicine. For example, it's a better easy to understand. It is a plant. Yes, it is a normal diploid branch, vegetative branch. Most of the angiosperms are diploid nature. It is a fruit, leaf. It is a normal branch. By the application of, it's a tip of the plant, by the application of colchicine, a chemical substance called colchicine. It is a chemicals obtained from Colchicum autumnale. It is commonly called naked lady. Belongs to the Liliaceae family. Underground root. It is a edible. The colchicine. It is a source of a drug is Colchicum autumnale. It is a source of drug is called colchicine. When we apply this colchicine to the tip of the plant, it is induced another branch. It is induced another branch. I mean the chromosome, diploid set of chromosome 2n condition become 4n. As a cell, increase the leaf size. Leaf and the fruit size also increased. These branches are 4n condition. These are the tetraploid branch. How to induce? In the tip. If you apply the chemical substance on the tip of the plant, the normal diploid branch that become tetraploid double. Increase the yielding, fruit size, sugar content, protein content, amino acid content, everything gets increased. So now this tetraploid branch cut, it is placed into the another place, they become regenerated tetraploid plant. So these are called allopolyploid. The word allo means two different plant. I mean multiplication of chromosome initially derived from the two different species. These are called allopolyploid. In previous class I already point out. For example, Raphanobrassica. Another one, triticale. These are the example for allopolyploid. How to obtain Raphanobrassica? It is obtained by crossing between the two different species. One is radish. Another one is cabbage. Radish by name Raphanus sativum, crossed with the cabbage Brassica oleracea. And the F1 actually is a sterile variety. They could not give the better yielding. But how the scientists are thought to plant to double the number of chromosomes by using this colchicine treatment, they become a fertile variety. These are called Raphanobrassica. It's a fertile varieties. Similarly, triticale is the first man-made cells obtained by crossing between the two different species. One is a wheat variety, Triticum durum, crossed with sickle cells. The F1 actually, it is a diploid condition sterile varieties. It is clearly discussed in the previous videos. Please go through that. Triticum durum crossed with the sickle cell. The F1 it is a sterile variety, but to double the number of chromosomes by using colchicine, the hexaploid variety it is a fertile varieties. So these are the example for polyploid. The next topic, green revolution. பசுமை புரட்சி. The word Green Revolution was first coined by William S. Gard in the year 1968. William S. Gard, the first person to coin the term Green Revolutions. What do you mean by Green Revolutions? It is a cumulative effect, a cumulative results of series of research, development of technique, innovations. I mean introductions of new techniques, innovations, then technology transfer initiatives. So these are the cumulative effect of result that is called Green Revolution. A series of research works, development of new techniques, and innovations of new techniques. Innovation means new technique, and the technology transfers. I mean தொழில்நுட்ப பரிமாற்ற முறைகள். As a result, increase in the agriculture production, especially wheat and rice. So the agriculture production, particularly wheat and rice, are increase in the developing countries. Manifold multiplication, increasing many countries, or especially developing countries, in between 1940 to 1960s. But during these periods, a lot of food crops are increasing, particularly these food varieties are rice and wheat. Because of this establishment of this technology research, a lot of new techniques are implemented. These are called Green Revolution. The Green Revolution, it is also a third agriculture revolution. It's a third agricultural revolutions. How to develop this third agriculture revolution? It is an intensive plan of 1960s. A deep plan or very pre-planned intensive plan of 1960s by improving the crop varieties, productions of food crop, particularly in the developing countries. How to increase the food crops or food productions in the developing countries by the introductions of certain high-yielding varieties, then disease-resistant varieties, high-yielding disease-resistant varieties, by increasing a lot of irrigation facilities. What are the irrigation facilities? For example, furrow irrigation, basin irrigation, drip irrigation facilities. And in addition to that, applications of fertilizers, application of a lot of biofertilizers. If you are using the chemical fertilizers, they may cause environmental degradations. To avoid these chemical fertilizers, the alternative sources for biofertilizers have been encouraged to increase the food productions. So it is the only way to increase the food production, especially in developing countries, by introducing by the applications of certain high-yielding varieties or disease-resistant varieties, irrigation facilities, a lot of technique for the improvement of crop management. So now initially this type of scheme was initially introduced or began starting in Mexico. Started in Mexico in the year 1940s. But these techniques are later successfully introduced in various parts of India, then East area, America, Latin America. Latin America, Middle East, in various parts of the world. These techniques are first initially started in Mexico. As a result, after well establishment of these techniques are slowly, successfully transferred or introduced into various parts of India, Latin America. Latin America is nothing but a group of countries of America. Latin America, Middle East are introduced. So, Dr. B.P. Paul, he was the director of Indian Agriculture Research Institute, New Delhi. He was a director. He requested to M.S. Swaminathan, Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, to arrange Dr. Norman E. Borlaug to visit India to obtain a dwarf wheat varieties. Dwarf wheat varieties because it possesses Narin 10 gene, dwarf gene, obtained from Mexico. Listen, Dr. P.P. Bald, he was the director of Indian Agriculture Research Institute in New Delhi. He requested Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, who was called as M.S. Swaminathan. He was a father of Indian Green Revolutions, father of Indian Green Revolution, Mankombu Sambasiva Swaminathan, and to arrange Dr. Norman E. Borlaug. He was the father of Green Revolutions, to obtaining a dwarf wheat varieties because the dwarf wheat varieties Narin 10 gene was developed by Norman Borlaug in Mexico. So to improve our native crops, to increase the food production in our country, to obtaining these dwarf wheat varieties, he arranged to visit Norman Borlaug to India. Norman E. Borlaug actually, he was a plant pathologist to study about various plant diseases as well as plant breeders. He devoted his most of the life or most of the time, spent most of the time in the International Maize Rice Development Center. Where is it? Sonar in Mexico. So most of the time Norman Borlaug, he spent most of the time in the International Maize and Rice Improvement Center, where is located Mexico, at a place called Sonar. So he developed a lot of varieties of pest resistant varieties, rust, fungal resistant varieties of wheat. For example, Narin 10, it is a wheat varieties. Sonora 64, Lerma Roja 64. So these are the non-logging variety. Non-logging variety is nothing but they do not bend. It is a high-yielding variety, disease-resistant variety, particularly rust-resistant variety. These wheat varieties, these wheat varieties were developed by Norman Borlaug. So these are the basis for the Green Revolution. So for that purpose, he was awarded a Nobel Prize in Peace in 1970. So Norman Borlaug was awarded for Nobel Prize in Peace, American Nobel Prize. In 1970s, he received by him, Norman Borlaug. So hence he is called as a father of Green Revolutions. So that is why his Paul requested the M.S. Swaminathan to arrange visitor to Norman Borlaug to India to develop our native crops. So as a result, in 1963, this Narin 10 wheat varieties, it is a dwarf wheat varieties because of possessing a gene is called your dwarfism gene, Narin 10 gene. Now these wheat varieties are introduced in India, cultivated, for which India got a 5 strategical report for the cultivation of certain other breeding varieties or disease resistant varieties, biotic, abiotic, stress resistant varieties. For example, Sonora 64 and Kalyana Sona. These varieties have been cultivated in our countries because due to the effect of NARIN10 genes. The next, similarly, as like introduction of these dwarf wheat variety, NARIN10 wheat varieties in our country, as like these, or similarly, Dr. M.S. Swaminathan developed first semi-dwarf rice varieties. Semi-dwarf rice, I mean fertilizer responsive hybrid rice varieties. The first semi-dwarf rice varieties are introduced or developed by Dr. M.S. Swaminathan in our country. Who was called as M.S. Swaminathan? He is a pioneer of mutation breeder, pioneer of mutation breeder. He developed a wheat variety called Sarvadi Sonora. Sarvadi Sonora, it is a wheat. The Sarvadi Sonora wheat, it is how he developed by using mutation breeding technique. These are the amber grain colored wheat varieties. You know what's called amber grain? Yellow, orange, ponniram. Amber wheat varieties. These amber wheat varieties are developed by Dr. Mankombu Sambasiva Swaminathan. These are the basis for the Green Revolution in India. So he is called as a father of Green Revolution in India. Dr. Norman Borlaug, father of Green Revolution. M.S. Swaminathan, father of Green Revolution in India. Due to the effect of this, he is also first developed a semi-dwarf rice varieties in India. It is a successful rice varieties, first successful rice varieties. They are responsible for the fertilizers rice varieties. Then followed by a better high yielding varieties also introduced such as Ratna and Jaya. It is followed the development of these semi-dwarf rice varieties. Ratna, Jaya, it is also developed in our countries. The next, in addition to Norman Borlaug's Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, another one person, he was also supporter for the development of or improvement of food productions in our country, especially in Tamil Nadu, Nel Jayaraman. He was Adirangam village in Thiruvarur district, Nel Jayaraman. And he was the follower or disciples of Dr. Nammalwar. Who was Nammalwar? He was the Tamil agriculture scientist and organic farming expert, Nammalwar. Nel Jayaraman, are the follower of Nammalwar. He is appointed as a coordinator in our state government coordinator. Save our rice. Save our rice campaign. In the இயக்கத்தினுடைய coordinator. Save our traditional rice varieties campaign. As coordinator is appointed. State coordinator is appointed as Nel Jayaraman. And he strived hard for the conservation of our traditional rice varieties. நம்மளுடைய traditional rice varieties பாதுகாக்க அரும்பாடுபட்டவர் தான் இந்த நெல் ஜெயராமன். In 2005 he organized a first traditional paddy seed festival in his own form. First paddy seed festival. First paddy seed festival organized by him in 2005 and is from his own farm. And next May 2016, a 10th festival organized by him in which 156 different traditional rice varieties. In the 10th festival, May 2016 are organized by Nel Jayaraman, in which 156 different rice varieties have been distributed over 7,000 farmers. Distributed to over or more than 7,000 farmers various parts of the Tamil Nadu. He is the first person to conserve our various traditional rice varieties, for which he received state award in 2011. State award. He received state award. 2011 received state award for the best organic farmers, and also in 2015 he received a national award for the best genomic savior to protections of our traditional rice varieties. For this, he received national award also. In addition to that, Nel Jayaraman was invited by Philippines government for the purpose to talk about his work in the International Rice Research Institute. International Rice Research Institute. Where is it? Philippines. So the Philippines governments are invited him to talk about his work in the International Rice Research Institute. So he is also participate in the conservations of our traditional rice varieties, especially in Tamil Nadu, Nel Jayaraman. Next, certain plant breeding varieties are developed by conventional plant breeding technique. For example, hybridizations, mutation breeding technique, and selection by the application of this new plant breeding technique to develop certain improved varieties. For example, wheat it is varieties. What is the improved varieties? Himgiri, it is improved varieties that shows resistance to against of fungus. Rust, it is a fungus that is called leaf stripe rust. The leaf stripe rust, it is a disease caused by fungus. This Himgiri variety that shows resistance of this fungus. Next, Brassica, it's a cabbage varieties. Cabbage, Brassica oleracea variety, cabbage varieties. It's an improved variety name, Pusa swarnim. It's an improved variety that shows resistance against a fungus disease called white rust. It's a fungal disease. Cauliflower, it is a normal crop. Improved variety is called Pusa subra. It is against of Pusa subra, one variety. Another one is Pusa snowball. It is another variety. This shows against of black rot disease or curl black rot disease. It is a bacterial disease caused by Xanthomonas bacteria. Xanthomonas bacteria. So these two varieties, cauliflower varieties, Pusa subra, Pusa snowball, against of black rot diseases. Next, cowpea, commonly called as a Karamani, cowpea. It is an improved variety called Pusa komal, improved variety that shows against of bacterial blight disease is caused by bacteria. It's a disease named bacterial blight. Next, chili. It's a improved variety called Pusa sadabar chili that shows against of chili mosaic virus and tobacco mosaic virus. These are the certain improved varieties. Thank you.